Okay, so the only difference here is when I'm looking to eliminate a problem here, I don't have any nice numbers yet. I don't have any number that can just go ahead and be crossed out. However, I know that 8 and 16 are multiples of each other. What do I have to multiply 8 by to get 16 stone?
-2.
Now, you're saying negative, and I appreciate the fact that you're thinking about that, but notice that it's already negative.
But
If you multiply by -2.
No, let him take it out. Go ahead, talk to me.
wait, so like, if you multiply -8 by -2, oh.
Then I get a positive 16, and when I add them together, I would get a 32.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I'm going to multiply this entire equation by positive 2. Is everybody okay with that? And so when I rewrite them, I'm going to have 16x minus 10y is equal to 10 over negative 16x minus 12y is equal to 12. The biggest thing I noticed from later classes is that students were not multiplying after the equal sign. They were leaving that number the same. You got to multiply the whole entire thing. If you don't multiply the entire thing, it's going to be wrong. Yes, Ian?
Why are we multiplying by 2?
Why are we multiplying by 2? Because 16x and negative 8x are not the same number. I could have done the same thing with y, but what's the first number that 10 and 6 both go into together? 30. And so therefore going to 30, I have to multiply this and this to get a common number. Where down here, I only had to multiply negative 8 by 2 to make it become negative 16, which can now be canceled out. Yes, Abby? You sure? Okay. Are we all okay with this step so far? All right, so now we're going to combine like terms by adding all of this together. These cancel out. This gives me a negative 22y, and this gives me a positive 22. We're okay with that step. Final step has been basically our entire class is to divide both sides by that. And y is going to equal a negative 1. Are we okay with that? Okay, final step is to take that y and plug it back in. Does it matter out of this, or this equation which one it goes into? No, I just always pick the first one. It's just habit. So my ordered pair is 0, negative 1. Yes, no?
Yeah.
Questions, comments? Does anybody know how we could check this problem? How do we check it, Hayden?
Put the variable, well, X with an apple.
You guys understand that this 0 represents x, right? And this negative 1 represents y? So if you took this 0 and plugged it in here, and you took this negative 1 and plugged it in here, you should get 10. Let's just try it. 16 times 0 is 0. Negative 10 times a negative 1 is positive 10, which is 10. It checks out. And it would work the same way down here. Negative 8 times 0 is 0. Negative 6 times negative 1 is a positive 6, which is equal to 6. So if you're stuck and you're like, I don't think this is right, check the problem. You have a calculator to do all that math for you. Okay? Questions? All right, let's do number 14, and then we're going to move on to the review. All right, so for 14, do I have any numbers that can be eliminated off the top right here? Could we figure out a common number for 8 and 6? Well, we could. I mean, 24. Do we agree that they both go into 24? But in order to get to 24, I would have to multiply this equation by 3 and this equation by 4. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just have to multiply by 1. So what's the easier idea here? Addison? Do we agree with that? If I get negative 7 times 2, I get negative 14, which will help me eliminate from positive 14. I'll multiply this by 2. Now we're going to have 8x plus 14y equals 4. And then we're going to have negative 12x minus 14y equals negative 20. Yes, no? Okay, add them together. We get negative 4x. These cancel out. Is equal to a negative 16. X equals 4. We're good? Plug it in, doesn't matter which one. We're going to have 8 times 4 plus 14y equals 4. minus 32, minus 32. We get 14y is equal to a negative 28. Y equals a negative 2. So now we have 4 comma negative 2. Thoughts, questions? Okay, now, once again, I don't care how you do this, y'all. I'm not asking to solve an elimination, substitution, y equals, plug in. I don't care. I just want you to be confident enough for your test tomorrow. Understood? All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. You guys have a review.